got a fever of 108, so he is getting delusional. You're right.
I think the coronavirus has finally gotten Chris Cuomo has finally cracked.
I think it's CNN, Brian.
Well, Chris Cuomo.
We can beg to differ.
Chris Cuomo has finally cracked. Let me explain. The longtime cable host. He's 49 years old. He had a mini midlife crisis on a Sirius XM show, lashing out at his gig and blasting President Trump, calling him full of you know what. That's okay. I don't mind that. But he was actually,
of course, right.
He was. I don't mind him saying that.
Yeah, right.
That's not why I'm saying he lost his mind. I mean, he can badmouth the president all he wants to. I want you to listen to this. So this is Chris Cuomo, in a way, kind of trashing his own CNN job on this Sirius.
By the way, I hate this chair.
On this Sirius XM radio show.
It is awful.
Have a listen to this. This is Chris Cuomo.
I don't want to spend my time doing things that I don't think are valuable enough to me personally. Like what? Well, I don't like what I do professionally, I've decided. I don't want some jackass, loser, fat tire biker to be able to pull over and get in my face and in my space and talk bullshit to me. I don't want to hear that. Matters to me more than making millions of dollars a year.
Basically,
all right, let me defend him for a second.
Can
I just defend him for a second?
Let me just say that fat beat under there. That's because it was the New York Post is the only one that has that audio, and they put their little sound under.
Let me defend him.
We didn't do that.
For part of
I actually dug that beat a lot.
JD, let me just defend him for a second here.
Oh, okay.
He's specifically talking about when somebody went up to him when he was with his family and called him Fredo.
Yeah.
He is a celebrity. He is a well-known anchor. He's a figure. So I can understand when people come up to him and he can't respond back to them. I can imagine that to be very frustrating.
Respond how, Brian?
Well, respond by saying "F you."
No. He means respond by like physically manhandling someone.
Well, he didn't say that.
This guy wants to attack people.
Okay.
Brian.
Well, I don't know that to be true.
If he wasn't, basically what he's saying is, if he wasn't a celebrity, and if someone wouldn't email the New York Post whenever he, he would anyone who, talked trash to him or talked, as he said, shit to him, he would attack them.
Okay, well, number one,
it's very buff too.
He didn't.
He's a big guy.
Okay,
absolutely.
Hold on. He didn't say that.
Probably juices.
He didn't say that, and I understand where he was coming from there. I can imagine that's very frustrating when you have a bunch of morons coming up to you that disagree with your politics or whatever the case may be. That part I am going to defend him on. The part I didn't like is when CNN is his employer. He's making millions of dollars a year.
$3 million a year.
There are people that would do anything to be in his position. Now, if he doesn't enjoy his job and he doesn't truly appreciate where he's at in his career, then that's sad, number one. Number two, that's the kind of thing you say in front of family and friends. He's on a Sirius XM show. I can't imagine his bosses were very happy that he is saying that he basically hates what he does.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, that is unbelievable.
You're also not mentioning that he mentioned specifically the hyper-partisanship, and he specifically mentioned how he is defending people who he doesn't even believe are saying what they're saying. He's basically saying that CNN is being overly nitpicky with politics and that they don't actually believe the things that they're being nitpicky about. It's a really big deal what he actually said about CNN if you really look at it.
What I don't like is this. I don't like it when people about CNN. I don't like it when people like Don Lemon call themselves journalists. Don Lemon is not a journalist. Sean Hannity, to his credit, never calls himself a journalist. I'll give him some credit for that anyway. Mark Levin is not a journalist.
Absolutely not.
They are opinionated hosts.
Neither are we.
Right. I've never called myself a journalist.
But you've been a journalist.
But I have, and you couldn't find me putting any post up that was political, that was one way or the other when I was a journalist. But I didn't like it. And the reason why I didn't like being a journalist was because I couldn't be opinionated. But I did my job pretty well. I stayed level-headed on that. I think it is inappropriate for Chris Cuomo, who is making 7 figures a year, who a lot of people rely on and watch. And I'll be honest with you, I like Chris Cuomo. I watch his show. I think he does a good job. Okay? I understand where he was coming from as far as people coming up to him, attacking him.
Much.
I understand where he was coming from, but I don't like the fact that he is saying he doesn't like, even if that's true, which I find hard to believe, by the way. I wonder how he would feel if he was fired tomorrow.
Well, he actually said in that interview, I've saved all my money. I have plenty of money. I don't need to make more money. His brother is the governor, Brian. I mean, the guy has money. So if he was fired, he'd be okay.
I'm sure he'd be okay, but I would imagine his bosses and some of the higher-ups at CNN are not happy with his comments. I've also seen some of the interviews, and I've been quite disappointed with it, by the way, some of the interviews he's done with his brother, Andrew Cuomo. I thought it was very combative and unprofessional. Cuomo, I think, has lost his mind a little bit the last couple weeks. Have you seen the interviews he's done with his brother on CNN, the governor of New York? They have been very combative and very I'm not going to say disrespectful, but kind of when we're going through the tough times that we're in, he's had several interviews with his brother, and they've become personal. And I found that to be very unprofessional. This is affecting people on their own. I think Chris Cuomo has officially lost his mind.
I think we're going to see a Chris Cuomo documentary. A lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that happens at CNN, and a lot of people are going to watch it.
You're right, though. He is very jacked.
I have a lot of respect for Chris Cuomo after what he did, actually.
Well, I mean,
I really do.
I've always liked Chris Cuomo. I don't like Don Lemon. I never have. I think Wolf Blitzer's like 105 years old. He needs to retire. And I never watch MSNBC. I think it's a horrendous network. It looks like college TV. It's public access television. It's low quality. I just don't watch MSNBC. I watch CNN and Fox News because you have one side of the aisle and the other side of the aisle. I wish I could tell you that there was one network that was completely non-biased. I can't say that. I really can't. There's not one television news network out there that is not biased in one way or another. So I try to watch both sides, and I try to make my decisions.
When you say biased, because right now, because we have our own biases. I mean, I support Donald Trump. You don't support Donald Trump, but we're not biased as a show because we bring both sides to the equation.
I was talking about TV, and I can tell you right now, I'd rather interview a Republican than a Democrat. I don't want to name some of these shows, but some of these right-wing talk show hosts are cowards. I'm talking about some of these national shows. Why? Because they never take calls from people that disagree with them. You know, I never really understood that. What type of host are you when you don't, or you're not willing to talk to anybody to challenge you on anything? There are people out there and they praise call after call after call. You're so great. You're so great. Thank you for what you do. Take some callers that disagree with you. I don't understand that at all. I respect people for having an opposition so long as it's a good debate and it's somewhat intelligent. What I don't like is people that'll just call you names for no reason, and then they don't have anything to back it up. That's what I really don't understand at all. By the way, I wanted to mention this because I didn't mention it. I don't think this has come to a shock to anybody, but Barack Obama has officially given his endorsement to Joe Biden. Here's what I think Obama did, and here's why I think he did it. I think Obama would have rather seen an Elizabeth Warren as president of the United States. I think there were other candidates in the race that Obama would have liked to have seen.
Deval Patrick.
But I think, right, Deval Patrick's another one who's been on our show before. But I think because Obama is such a classy person, and I do believe he is, he waited. And I think he likes Joe Biden on a personal level, but I don't think Biden was his top choice. But now that Biden is the choice, Obama did what he should have done, and he did the right thing, and now he puts his endorsement towards Joe Biden, and I'm sure Obama will go with him on the campaign trail. Hopefully they'll be able to do that when this coronavirus situation is over with. I have no idea when that's going to happen. But again, Barack Obama, former president of the United States, has now officially supported Joe Biden as an endorsement for the next president of the United States. That's no shock. It was just a matter of time. I'm just a little surprised that he waited this long to do it, and I think that speaks volumes of the fact that Obama, wanted somebody else in there. I think it's fair to have that opinion at this point. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're on our YouTube page again. It's the Vegas Take YouTube page. We're on all forms of social media, and also check out our website, thevegastake.com. But we do get a lot of hate mail, which we enjoy reading to all of you. It's a very enjoyable segment. So coming up next,
several comments about your apartment.
Oh, I can't wait.
Your dwelling.
I can't wait. I can't wait to hear that.
Either.
I can't wait. So we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, it's the hate mail segment of the day. We'll take a quick break. Be back right after this. You're listening to the Vegas Take right here on the all-new 101.5 FM, 720 AM, KDAWN. Back, it is the Vegas Take, Sharp and Shapiro. Again, a reminder on the show tomorrow, Michael Avenatti's personal attorney will be joining us. He is granted, I'm not going to say parole. He's far from that. But they're letting him leave his jail and be at home, I would imagine, with an ankle bracelet for about 3 months or so because of this coronavirus outbreak. We'll talk to his attorney about that. Also, this is Jeffrey Epstein's former attorney. He doesn't need representation anymore, from what I understand. And El Chapo's former attorney as well. So she'll be joining us tomorrow, as long as former NBA standout and Las Vegas local. He grew up here. He played high school basketball here, had a nice NBA career. C.J. Watson will be joining us.
He also played where, Tennessee?
I don't recall. I believe you're right.
Yes,
The Volunteers,
Tennessee.
did he play Tennessee?
Yes.
I don't remember. But C.J. Watson, nice guest, will be joining us tomorrow. Okay, it's time for that part of the day where we get a little bit of hate mail. You know, at times I get very frustrated with callers. Sometimes I call them names because I think the utter stupidity is some of the comments that we get.
Sorry, are we boring you?
Yeah,
Jay?
sometimes.
I'm exhausted, man.
How do you think I feel?
Quarantine is just tiring me out.
It's tiring me out, too. Anyway.
I sleep like 15 hours a day. It's unbelievable.
Last segment, he wasn't listening to me. He said, "What, Brian? I wasn't listening to you." And now this segment, we catch him yawning. Jeez.
Yesterday he was rustling around his granola bar in the microphone.
I hope he doesn't reflect our ratings.
Yeah,
My
that
goodness.
was a total accident.
Anyway, it's time. What I was trying to say was sometimes I could be mean, so now it's your chance to be mean towards me. It's time for our hate mail segment of the day, brought to you by our producer, Jason Stein. Jason, take it away.
First viewer on YouTube. Is this Brian's birthday party streaming live online?
You know, it's funny that he mentions that because I posted something on Facebook last night, and I said, you know, I'm having my 40th birthday party on Thursday. I was supposed to have this huge suite at the Cosmo and 50 people. So I said, what is the best, way I could celebrate my birthday? And somebody did say that you should have a virtual party and then see Wynn, like drinking, virtually. And then see Wynn said, "Oh, Brian doesn't drink." And then I called Chris Wynn an alcoholic, and he got angry at me. So
yeah, and I think what I like about that comment, if you didn't get that, was that you're such a loser that if you had a birthday party, you'd have 3 people there.
That's definitely not true.
Yeah.
That's absolutely not.
By the way,
accurate.
can I say one more thing about your big birthday coming up on Thursday?
Yes.
I sent a message to Chris Wynn, and I said, Brian's got this big milestone birthday coming up on Thursday. We really should do something for the kid. Does anybody have any ideas? And Chris said, screw him. He's not my girlfriend. I'm not getting him anything.
Yeah, that's not.
There you go.
That's not a shocker.
There's your friend.
That's not a shocker at all. You know, when the guy needs money, I lend him money. But when it comes to my birthday, he tells me to F off. By the way, for the last birthday party I had, I was engaged. It was my 35th birthday party, and I rented out the Elvis suite at the Westgate. If you've never seen what the Elvis suite, it's like a $10,000 a night suite or something like that. It's where Elvis used to live. And I had about 150 people. So that guy is not. And by the way, a friend of mine who was on American Idol.
Did you buy?
Wow.
Did you buy people? Like you can buy Twitter followers?
No.
Did you buy people to come to your
He
party?
bought guests.
No.
He
Are these
bought
extras?
guests.
Are these
No.
Hollywood extras?
Absolutely
$3 a guest.
No, one of my friends, Sherry, who was on American Idol, she sang at my party. She was the entertainment. We had a really good time. It was a lot of fun. That was the last birthday party that I had when I turned 35. Sadly, my party.
Did you rent any tigers from Jeff Lowe?
I did not. No, I didn't. I didn't do that. I should have, though. That would have been a good idea.
That's
but,
good. I like that.
I didn't do that.
Okay.
I should have done that. Siegfried and Roy were also not available.
Who wrote this? It says the Vegas take, but I didn't write this.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll include it. Somebody didn't tell JD about the Kangol lid requirement today at Brian's apartment. Shap and Stein look like extras from The Departed. Who wrote that?
The Kangol lid?
Kangol. It's a
Kangol.
make hats?
Yeah. I don't know who wrote that. I have no idea. It wasn't.
kind of funny.
It's kind of funny.
So either
you do. Yeah.
could it be that we have a Vegas take troll, like someone creates an account under our name? But
Yeah. That's definitely what that is. Yeah.
could be.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, whoever wrote that, it's kind of
But
funny.
you guys do wear those hats though.
Yeah, we still got the hats.
I call them paper boys. I don't call them Kangol lids.
Yeah.
I call them the paperboy hats.
All right, next.
A lot of paper boys in the 20s used to use those to deliver papers.
Yeah.
Next, Stein.
Hang on a second, man. It's hard when I don't have a hard copy.
Oh, wow. What a tough job.
Next comment. Hey, Stein, can you please at least bring Brian a T-shirt to wear for the show so he doesn't have to wear his free MGM bathrobe?
Okay, first of all, get it right. It's not MGM. It's Four Queens. All right, so that's number one. Let's be.
You should just have said it was MGM.
No,
That makes it a
be
lot
fact-
worse.
if-
So were you in a
factually
were you in a
accurate.
Four Queens at some point in your life?
I was given this as a gift by a former friend of
A
mine. I'm
suite?
not going to say who it was.
So were you in a suite?
No, I was giving this. I'm telling you,
So
a former friend of
Have
mine.
you ever stayed at the Four Queens?
I think maybe 8 or 9 years
Because
ago.
my father,
one night.
my father stays there every time he comes
loves
to
it.
Vegas.
It's a very classy.
It's his favorite place.
Yes. It's very classy.
I actually like their pizza
Yep,
there.
they have a great magician.
And I'm a
there,
huge
too.
fan of Hugo's.
Yeah, they have a great magician there.
Obviously.
As well. Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Next comment. Good morning, Brian.
Yeah. I just got that.
Couldn't you change your light bulb so you? Oh God. Let me start over. Good morning.
This is why Stein is a producer and not a host.
I'm not good.
That's all right. We're doing
Good morning.
well, Stein.
Good morning, B Shap. You didn't change. Get that SPF 500 on that chest, buddy. You could burn from a light bulb.
Well, I think
He's saying you're pale.
it's a little alarming when a man wakes up in the morning and he tunes into our show and he goes on our YouTube page and the first thing he does is stare at my chest. That's a little alarming to me, and it's not normal. I don't care if you're gay or straight. I don't care if you're Richard Simmons. If you're tuning into our show and the first thing you look at is my chest hair, there's something wrong with you. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead.
Brian says he has gone on dates. That might not be factual.
By the way, Stein, this is Chris Wynn. He's the Vegas.
Oh, okay. Good comment,
yeah,
Chris.
Okay.
Thanks.
Well done, Chris.
Yeah, Brian says he's gone on dates. That may not be factual.
Well, it's completely not factual because I had a date last night, actually, quite honestly. I had a date last night. I won't go into further detail, but let's just say that both parties were satisfied. Go ahead, next.
And then this person responded to that person saying he probably pulls a few ladies. They might dig the soft pink chest.
I think they did. I think
Your chest should have its own Twitter page.
well, it's
It could.
real. It's not fake.
It
It's not
could.
Your chest could tweet.
It's not a fake chest. There's a lot of doctors in this town that'll give you a fake chest. Mine's real. Okay, mine's 100% real. I'm not very hairy, by the way, either. Although I do have hair growing in all the wrong places. But that's another story for another show. By the way, it's really funny. I shaved my head the other day, and I have this porch in my apartment, and my hair is all over my porch. It didn't blow away. And then Stein is out there smoking a cigarette.
No.
And I go out to him, and I say, Stein, I shaved my pubes yesterday. And he thought I was serious. He looked like he was ready to throw up.
Oh, they were red.
Yeah, all right, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, hang on, man. It's just I got so much to.
By the
go
way, I'm
through.
glad that you were so prepared for this segment, by the way. Thank you. Thank
well,
you for being
I have
ready
so
to
much
go.
to go through. I normally have hard copies with everything highlighted, but now that we're in this kitchen, God, there was something really good in here too. Give me a second, everybody.
JD, imagine if I started a segment by doing what Stein is doing.
Okay.
No, give me a second, guys.
Okay,
Give me a second.
hang on.
Yeah,
I have limitations
I
here in
need
this
30.
kitchen.
I'm gonna need 45.
Next comment. Next viewer writes, "Hey Brian, when is the last time you washed that robe? I can see things crawling on it."
To answer your question, I would probably say about a month and a half ago. Probably about 6 weeks ago. I have a maid that comes in here and she does my laundry for me.
Yeah,
so,
there's no way you actually know how to wash that thing.
About 6 weeks ago or so. Yeah, it's probably about the last time I took a shower too. Go ahead.
Next comment. Hey JD, isn't it time for you to take your dump?
Honestly,
That's
it's
my
been,
favorite comment of all time.
It's been a weird couple of days. My
Constipated?
my cycle is off.
Your cycle?
Yes, my cycle.
What are you, a woman? What are you
No,
talking
it's
about
just
your cycle for?
it's a bowel movement cycle, Brian. It's very
That's just-
important.
that's
It's very important to me. I've been oversleeping lately, and I've been going the night before the show instead
I'm
of during
telling
the
you,
show,
my
which is actually very, very troublesome to me
my
at this point.
toilet
I'm hoping
bowl-
that in the next couple of days that it hits me like a train and I drop the bomb.
My toilet bowl is disgusting the last month because of you. It's your fault. I'm just telling you. It is disgusting.
I actually believe that.
It really is.
Yeah, I think
like,
that.
I don't even know.
I think you're not lying.
Without
right now.
getting into detail, your aim is off. I don't even know how
No,
that's
it's not.
Yes, it is. I'll show you the toilet
you're
after
wrong.
the show. I'll show you the
Nope.
toilet after the show. Your aim is off. Do you hover over the toilet?
I haven't been in there in 5 days, Brian.
Do you crap standing
So
up? What
anything,
do you do?
anything in there right now is not me.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Michael writes, there should be a segment on your show where Brian gives us a tour of the random crap that he has on his walls.
Actually, it's not crap. At least I don't consider. There's a lot of There's about $100,000 worth of memorabilia here. So now everyone can come to my place and steal all my stuff. But there is a lot of memorabilia in this apartment that you can't see just from these cameras.
I wouldn't mind doing one segment for one item every day for like 5 minutes. Or
That's fair.
For like 3 minutes.
That's
Sean,
fair.
tell me in my
That
ear,
could-
how
that
much
could be
time do
okay.
we have? Because
We got a couple
my
minutes.
Facebook is down.
We got a couple minutes.
90
We got a couple
seconds.
minutes. Go
okay.
ahead, Stein. Give me one more good one here.
Okay. And by the way, Chris Wynn, we love you, but stop. You're clogging up my thing here. I have to weed through all of Chris Wynn's
That's what she
comments.
said.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
They're talking about the rug on your wall. What's with that area rug on your wall, Brian?
If you're 90 years old, you probably never heard of this band before. It's a band called Live, and it's a really cool carpet that I bought when they were on tour years back. And it's kind of a cool souvenir. It's my favorite album from the band Live. It's called Throwing Copper.
Thank you.
And you can't buy it online, so it was something cool I bought when they were on tour. There you go. There's your answer.
Mike, and finally, Michael writes, your apartment looks like something that Your apartment looks like my room did when I was 15.
Well, I guess when you were 15, you were getting laid a lot then. So that's a compliment. I take that as a compliment. Thank you very much. I wonder what your place looks like. I would love to know what your place looks like. I'm sure you have all the your kitchen lined up and all the pastries and dishes and everything. I'm sure everything looks great in your apartment. But anyway, we will do that, JD. I think we need to find one item from my apartment to talk about every single day. We'll start tomorrow by talking about something that's buzzing in my bedroom drawer. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Anyway, that was a horrible joke. Anyway, thanks for joining us, everybody.
It actually wasn't that bad.
Michael Avenatti's attorney will be joining us tomorrow. Also, the former attorney of Jeffrey Epstein and El Chapo, former NBA standout and Las Vegas local. C.J. Watson will be joining us tomorrow as well. Check us out on Twitter at The Vegas Take. Sean Hannity coming up next.